everybody, it's Connie with Connie's Crafty Corner, and today is January the 1st of 2023. I hope everybody had an amazing New Year's Eve and everybody was safe and, you know, did all the things, whatever. But I have decided that I am redoing my crafty goals for 2023. When I sat down and filmed the other day, I just wasn't ready. I had just jotted down some things and thought I'm going to make this very simple and just jot down a few ideas and talk to you guys about it, because I had been gone so long that I was really wanting to film, but I didn't put enough thought into my goals. So I've redone them. I've watched a few people do their goals, and I thought, you know, I didn't put any thought into mine. So I'm going to go over these with you guys and let you know what I hope to achieve in 2023 without being too, you know, married to it. These are fluid. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. It just kind of gives me a little push toward things to kind of, you know, stay on track for some things I'd kind of like to accomplish. Now, the first one is about yarn. You know, I did say I was going to be on a yarn ban, that I was only going to buy yarn if it was for a specific project that I had to have, and mainly for Rowan, my grandson. Well, I've decided that that's just not going to work for me. I know me enough. I just know. But I do have a rule. I have to use 15 skeins, balls, hanks, whatever, and mini skeins do not count, before I can bring in one of another. And I feel really good about that. I did have it originally at 5, but I'm putting 15 because I was going to see, I had it wrote down somewhere. I've got them right here. This is what I used this year. Now, I'm going to show you all of these. I mean, I'm going to see if I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, it's just slam full of yarn labels. I mean, it's not focusing real good. But anyway, there's 268 balls or skeins of yarn. Now, if it was mini skeins, I had to have 5 before I could count it as one. And that's not all of my labels. I go through a lot more yarn than I thought I did. And I'm excited that I decided to save those, because that was one of the reasons I started my YouTube channel, is I felt I had no idea of what I was doing. You know, I wanted to see how I was working through yarn. I wanted to see the projects that I had completed. And I can go back through my videos and see the projects that I actually completed this year, because I think I've showed you almost all of them. But this year, you know, I told you I'd start. Okay, let me start back with my goals. I'm getting off track. Okay, the second goal is to start and complete a crocheted sweater or cardigan for me. And I actually started that yesterday. Let me show you. I'm going to show you the colors I'm using in it. And this is by Woolspun. I've got several of each one of these. These are the colors. Let's see, I've got one more color. Where did I put it? Oh, it's this one. These are the colors I'm using. And I think this is taupe. And this is an 80% acrylic, 20% wool. And this one's called mahogany. And this one's honey. And this one's linen. Let me show you the label one more time. Now, when they come out with this is a bulky 5. I bought several of them. And it's actually a little scratchy. It's a little scratchy, not too bad. But I don't think I'd want it to wear as I couldn't wear it directly on my skin. But what I've decided to make, I think I did a Q&A sometime last year about and one of the questions was, what's your favorite thing you've ever crocheted? When I first got back into crocheting, I don't know if anybody, I think it's called Crochet with Carrie. She had this Harry Styles inspired jacket. You know, I don't know if any of y'all know who Harry Styles is, but my daughter was crazy about him. And One Direction. I actually took her to a concert. But he had wore this real colorful jacket, and it was all over YouTube of everybody trying to mimic it and, you know, make it and all this stuff. And they used a lot of different squares, but I think it was, maybe they just, anyway, you can Google it if you want to see it. It's on YouTube. But hey, I mean, I call her Hey Carrie, but I think it's called Crochet with Carrie. And I will link this pattern below. She did a version that is just all these different textured squares. There's a half double crochet, there's a griddle stitch, there's a bobble, and there's a basket weave. And I made that for my daughter all in one color. And I actually did the Feels Like Butter and held it two together to get the bulky weight. And she loved it. And I did make it in the small medium, and she needed the large, extra large, because she has very long arms and wide shoulders. But she still wore it. And I loved that jacket. And I actually could put it on. It fit me. It just didn't fit me in the hips. But I'm going to make it for me in the large, extra large, because I want it to be a little big. Which, trust me, I've gained weight since I made that one, so I'm sure it'll fit me fine. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting a phone call. Okay, I'm back. That was my son-in-law giving us a hard time because the Carolina Panthers lost a football game. Anyway, I could care less, but my husband, I guess him and my husband talk about it. Okay, I was talking about the crochet sweater. But anyway, and I really don't remember what I said, but I am going to make that for me. I've already started a few of the blocks. I've got some of the half double crochet ones done, and this is with the taupe. And this is the griddle stitch. I don't know which side's which. This is the mahogany. So I've started that goal already. And so my next goal is number 3, is to knit a sweater for me. Now that's one that's very lofty. And I have knit some for my grandson. And it can't be that much harder. It's just the time it's going to take. And I say for me because I never make anything for myself. I always make it to give away. Okay, my next 2 goals have to do with mittens. Number 4 is I'm going to knit a pair of mittens, and I'm going to crochet a pair of mittens. And these are definitely going to be for my daughter, who's asked me for these for 2 years now, and I haven't done it. Okay, number 6 is I'm going to complete all 3 of the Leather Co. Afghans that I have in works from last year. And it's so frustrating because I was on, I was on track to finish them just like everybody else. If, you kept up with it month by month. But I moved, so that just went all to crap. And I do want to tell y'all, Ashley from Leather Co. has been amazing. I have aggravated that poor woman to death. I had to have all my packages sent to my daughters because we were living between Lone Tree, Colorado, and Cookville, where my daughter lives. And then we were living in that Airbnb. So we have just been everywhere. So I thought I would put everything at my daughter's because that was going to be the closest to me when we got settled. And she's worked just amazing with me. And I know I've drove her crazy because I know I have. But she has been very gracious. And so I just want to give a shout out to Ashley from Leather Co. for taking such good care of me during this transition. Okay, number 7 is I started the Annie's, I think it was called Moroccan Afghan, and I got the center medallion finished, and I want to finish that this year. Now, the Leather Co. I hope to have done by the end of February. The Annie's, I'm not putting a date on it because I have to watch the videos when I do it. Okay, my next goal is number 8. It's the monthly outfit for Rowan. For January, I've talked to death about doing a sweater with a snowflake on it. Well, I have decided that I am doing, even though it's not New Year's, it'll be January 24th, I'm going to do a top hat and a little diaper cover, and we're going to have a little sign saying, welcome, 2023. He's going to be like the New Year baby type thing. So I've got to crochet a top hat and a little diaper cover, and I know I can get that done, which I got to get it done this week because we're going to go see my daughter and son-in-law and grandson this weekend. So, my next one is number 9, is start and finish Rowans Blanket. I bought this yarn. Let me find it. I've got it somewhere, y'all. I tried to put everything over here so I could show it to you. Here it is. I got these yarns last year at a yarn shop, and they are superwash merino. I think they've got nylon, super soft. The lady at the shop told me that she had actually used this same yarn for her son, and he had no issues with it. Here's the other 2 colors. I think I got 4 colors. Let me make sure. Nope, got 5. Nope, Yep, yeah, 5, because there's the difference in these. It's kind of got some greens and stuff going with it. Real sagey pale greens, and then linens and taupes, and of course a cream. I've got the labels somewhere because I know that I set them aside to save for this year's tally. And by the way, the Swish DK, the 100% superwash merino wool, has worked out wonderful with Rowan. He's not had one bit of issues wearing it. And he's actually wore the little deer sweater all day one day and had no problems with it at all. So I feel good about, you know, using that yarn now. I was kind of worried about it because everything I've made has been out of that yarn. Okay. The next one's number 10, and it's worked through half of my mini skeins. I've actually started the Cozy Memories blanket by Hannah. Oh my gosh. A Cozy Cottage Crochet. I cannot remember the name of her channel, and I watch her religiously. I will link it below. The pattern is amazing. I can see myself using that for, it calls for finger and weight yarn, but I think you could do it in anything. It's like a patchwork corner to corner. And I think of all the scraps that I've got, that would just be perfect. We're doing 9 rows with the finger and weight, but you could do anything you wanted to. Just use her method of join as you go. The pattern, I think, is free on her blog, or no, free in the description. I think it's what she said, but it's only $1. So I went ahead and paid the $1 to get the pattern. And she writes extremely well. I mean, easy to follow pattern. She's very good and very detailed. And it was a little bit confusing for me, but she has pictures of every step. And once you do it one time, trust me, I'm challenged. But once you do it one time, it's super easy to figure out what you're doing. And I've not had as much luck with the join as you go granny square, but this is not as hard to me. Okay. So getting through half of my mini skeins working on this blanket, and I give myself the whole year. And the way I'm going to keep up with that is I'm going to tally the mini skeins that I go through. It only uses about 1/4 of a mini skein. So I may start another mini skein project to use off the other part so I can get it out completely, because I don't want to say I've used it if I've only used just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do my birthday and holiday cards. In fact, I've already started this little notebook. Normally, I buy a planner every year, and I end up not filling it out. But I make tons of lists because I am a list maker. But I've got this little, it's a little, I don't know, it's one of those bullet journals, and it's by Archer and Olive. They had this really big sale when we moved to Colorado, and I was sitting in temporary housing, and I bought several of them. I have never used them, so I'm putting them to good use this year. I've used them, and I use them to jot down all my list in. I don't bullet journal. I've tried, but when I mess something up, I get so frustrated, and I think, God, it just looks awful. I wish I could be one of those people that just went with it. And I wouldn't call myself a perfectionist, but I think I must be. I don't know. Trust me, I don't, maybe I'm not. But anyway, I started my page here. I'll show you. Just jotting down people's birthdays. Like I've got to do 1 the month of January. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in February, 3 in March. I can get these birthdays done. April, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 in April. So I'd like to, in the month of January, get all of them done through April. So that's what I've listed. And then I've got Valentine cards, which I probably won't do any for anybody but my husband. And that's probably it, because aren't you supposed to give Valentine cards just to your sweetheart? I don't know. St. Patrick's. I've never done St. Patrick's cards. I've got stamps and stuff to do St. Patrick cards, but are you supposed to give St. Patrick's cards if you're not Irish? I don't know. Is that what that is about? I don't even know what St. Patrick's is. That's terrible. I'm a terrible person. I don't know what that is. But Easter is on the 10th of April. So those are the main ones I'd like to get done. So I'd like to get from January to April done in January and get at least started on my Easter cards. Now, I don't know if that's realistic, but I'm at least going to get the birthday cards done. So that's my next goal. And then I have got a Cricut machine that I used to use all the time. I made signs, I made shirts, I did everything. I would make things and use them for stencils. I used them in my card making a ton, a lot in my card making. In fact, I pretty much quit using the stencils that you cut out with paper by rolling them through that thing by using my Cricut. So I really need to use it. I put down use it monthly. That's probably unrealistic, but I would like to at least use it one time monthly because I got stuff invested in it. And the goal for 13 is to keep a journal. And what I'm referring to is a crafty goals journal for the year. And I've already started it. This is another one of those little notebooks. I got something really happy looking, so it would make me do it. And I just wrote down all my goals right there. And then I've wrote down, and I got this, I stole it straight from Happy Crafty Homemaker. She had down, and this was last year's, I haven't seen her video if she's put it out for this year, things that she likes to tally, and it's scarves, shawls, and I've got hats, afghans, and dishcloths and washcloths. I think mine's a tiny bit different from her. And I did leave space to add more. Oh, it's not focusing. There we go. To add more down here. But I'm just going to do a little tick mark to tally because I make a lot of those things, and I really would like to see a total at the end of the year. Let's just see if I keep this up. I'm going to probably check in with you guys throughout the year to let you know how I'm doing. Okay. Now, I've already started 2 project pages. And, okay, there's for my Cozy Memories Afghan. I think she calls it the Cozy Memories Blanket. But I wrote down the yarn that I'm using, which is just finger and weight scraps and mini skeins. And the hook size, the 3.5 millimeter, because that's where I always screw up, is I don't know what hook size I'm using. And on my crochet patch cardigan, with Crochet with Carrie, I'm using a 6.5. The pattern calls for a 6, but I couldn't get gauge with a 6, so I used 6.5. And by gauge, a 5x5 square, because I never swatch. I'm terrible. And I wrote down the yarn that I'm using, and the colors, and the blend of the yarn. And I may not do that every time, I don't know. And I wrote down the start date. I actually started both of these on December the 29th, but I am going to count it toward this year because I'm not going to finish it to this year. So I feel good about that. And then 14 is to be happy, and 15 is to enjoy the process. Now, I should have put down, what was it? I just see something just flashed into my mind, and I can't remember what it was. I don't know. What was it? Another goal I should have added. Can't remember. But anyway, oh, I am going to either frog or finish all the whips I've got. And I didn't add that, but I may add that to this list. I'll show you what I got. Okay, there's my grandson's blanket, and I've already told you about that. Okay, I know I'm frogging this. Do y'all remember those stockings that I made last year, or started, I didn't finish, for my daughter? And it's the bobble stocking by MJ's Off the Hook, and you put the fur at the top. Well, I think now that she's decided she wants to use red and green, and I may make these and try to sell them. I don't know. It turned out really pretty, and the fur will be really pretty on top. It's that Fable Fur by Knit Picks. But you know, the problem with that is I don't know what to charge for crochet stuff. I love doing it so much, or knit stuff, that I hate charging. I did have a distant family member reach out to me to make a pocket shawl for them. And I told them by the time the yarn and everything, it was going to be so expensive, did they really want to pay it? Because they could go on Etsy and buy the same thing for like $60 of the one they wanted. And by the time I shipped it to her, bought the yarn that she wanted, and my time of making it, I may have had to charge her more than $60. And see, I hate doing that. So, but anyway, this is something that I've really got to think about what I'm going to do. This is one whip that I'd love to finish because I think it's so pretty. And I didn't half know what I was doing when I was doing this. And I'm kind of surprised it looks as good as it does. I'm trying to see if you can tell where it... Anyway, I think it looks pretty good. So I got to decide for sure about that. And I may out talk to Sarah. I may just make it and give it to my son-in-law, my son and my daughter-in-law, this is their 3rd married Christmas. Let me think. They got married in 2019, 19, 20, 21, 20, their 4th married Christmas. And they've yet to put up a Christmas tree. Now, how bad is that? Anyway, and then I have got this. I've got another one over there I hadn't got down. I've got all these little nuggets of yarn that I got in a Bella Coco that she wanted us to make a pillow. It's super soft. I think it's acrylic. See, I don't have the ball bands for it. That's the back for it. Well, let me see. No, that's something I can pick to go with it. Anyway, this is a yarn that I bought to go with it, to work with it, because it kind of resembled it. But this is the softest, most wonderful yarn. And I don't know what to make with it. I've started several things. Let me see. I've seen a little something I was doing. Yeah, a little granny square. See, I get hooked on these little granny squares. But I don't like all the holes in it, because if it's for a baby, it's just too holy, I think, for a little baby, because they'll get their little fingers stuck. So I want to do something with this yarn this year, just to get it out of my stash, because it's a wonderful yarn. It's so soft. It's unbelievable. So, and the only other whip I've got is, hold on, I'll get it for you. Hold on, I gotta slide over. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna fall. Is this sweater that I started for myself. It's that cardigan, the make and do crew thing. You know, I figured out the other day how she wants you to fold this thing. See, it's this, like this. Oops. Y'all, it's like this. And then you'll do more. It just goes into different, you know, whatever. And I still got a long way to go on it. But it is a purple. Let me see if y'all can see the color. It looks gray because I'm using natural light and you can't see. It's a lot more purple. Let me turn the light on, see if y'all can see it better. Let's see. Maybe it shows it up just a little bit. If you quit focusing on my head, can y'all see? It looks gray to me. I don't know what y'all are seeing, but it is a purple. But anyway, this is a luxurious, wonderful. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Hold on just a second. Ozzy. Hold on, I gotta go let him out of here. I'm telling you, that dog, he has... Y'all are going to hear him. But anyway, let me get through with this so I can hush. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I've got several of these. This would make a wonderful top. It's got some cotton, some... I don't remember what I was in it. I've got the ball band somewhere. I don't even know where I got the yarn. I think it was a Knit Picks yarn. Here it is. Yep, it's that Interlock by, not Knit Picks, Knit Crate. And it's at Aldine Woods. That. And it's the color Haze. It's got 34% cotton, 25% linen, 19% live seal, 11% nylon. And I think it's like a sport weight because it is. Does it say sport? Because it's 351 yards. And that's kind of, I know it's not DK and I know it's not fingering, so it must be a sport weight. But anyway... I don't know if I'm going to keep up with this because I don't remember the hook. I don't remember anything. And I could look back. Somebody kindly suggested I look back over my videos. But y'all, I don't have a clue when I showed it to you. And I don't know if I'm going to love it enough to go to that much trouble. I want to make the sweater, but I don't think I want to make it in the purple because I don't ever wear purple. Y'all see, I just don't. So... I may remake it into something else for my daughter because she would definitely wear purple and she loves cardigans. So I know I'm going to frog this one. But other than that, and that Annie's Afghan and the Letherco Afghans, oh, that's a lie. I was going to say I have no other whips, but I do have my grandson's sweater that I never finished for Christmas. And I'm so close. It's ridiculous. And it's so squishy soft. I don't know if I don't know. I want to finish it, but I'm so not inspired to finish it. And I don't know why I'm into wanting to make big projects. Now, I'm really excited about the Cozy Memories Afghan or blanket. And I'm really excited about my sweater. But but I love making Afghans, and I foresee myself making a lot of Afghans this year. I want to finish the Lether Co ones and then get started on some stash busting things. And let me tell you a little bit about that. FiberFun with Olivia has started a make-along of destashing, stash busting. She says you knit, crochet, whatever. I think her only rules are the yarn has to come from stash, and it has to be yarn you already have. And it started January the 1st, and she has talked about it on her channel, and I'll link that video below, but I'm definitely joining it. Haven't picked my pattern yet, but I'm going to do that probably tomorrow, because today is Sunday the 1st, and it's getting late, and I've got to go cook collard greens. I put them in the pressure cooker so it don't take that long, and make cornbread, because I've already made my black-eyed peas. I got to make slaw, and I like rice with my black-eyed peas. So I got to get downstairs and start cooking some supper. But I'm excited to be back again, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was going to talk to you guys about. I don't think so. I am going to give y'all a yarn tour, of this room. And yes, I lost the, what was it? The bed. I didn't get everything in one room. I do have some stuff spilling over into another room. It's grotesque of all the stuff I've got, but I did declutter, and I have donated a tremendous amount of things. In fact, I'm donating a special sewing machine to a special person, hopefully this week. And if not this week, it'll be soon, because I'll see her soon. I'm not going to say anything because she knows who she is, and we'll talk about it if she chooses to later. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. But anyway, I'm going to go see my mom on Wednesday. The date's changed several times, but Wednesday's going to be the best day for everybody. So I'll be traveling to North Carolina, Lord of mercy. But anyway, I'm excited to see her. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.